But so the three pillars that I've observed that do play a role for many people and for many of my clients are identity alignment, direction, and nervous system capacity. And all those basically fuel the goal of what I would call just like an exciting life. You know, I call it Monday morning excitement because it's about what we do on a Monday morning and how we live and how satisfied we are with our journey on a Monday morning or on a dark Tuesday afternoon in February. You know, it's like that's the goal, to be absolutely and utterly excited about where you're going and satisfied with where you're at in your path. And the key pieces to that I see are very helpful in regards to psychedelic integration is identity alignment, which speaks to this self-doubt that is coming up for certain people after the journey, you know, of like, oh, I saw a potential version of myself, but I can't live what I saw. So am I not good enough? You know, am I not worthy to live that? Am I not, you know, why am I not able to embrace this higher state of consciousness? And who am I? You know, it's like, what does that mean? Right? So I bring it down to defining core values, right? Really looking at what's most important to you in life and nailing it down to the top 5 most important things in your life, top 5 core values that are, you know, giving you a almost like a decision-making mechanism for your path forward, because the psychedelics might have shown you certain aspects or parts about reality or life that you feel are important to you. So to nail those down and really define what they mean for you and make it tangible and practical as well is a key part. And also, again, extract certain principles by which you want to live by. For example, psychedelics have taught me that curiosity heals judgment. And that's a principle I try to embody, right? I try to live by. So it's about extracting these principles and, again, making them tangible so you can review them and you can process them and you can implement them into your life. And it's about, right, embodiment practices. So building self-trust through micro commitments, through taking action, right? It's about building up this trust within yourself and this confidence about who you are in the world by taking action, by embodying what you saw, by living in accordance to your core values. And then that informs the second aspect, which is direction, which is either psychedelic experiences might have broken something open and showed you a potential of where you want to go, of like, hey, I really feel like I'm meant to do this, but my life is reflecting something else, right? So it's about crystallizing that vision, translating that vision into action steps and being really clear about that. Or psychedelics broke something open and you just feel like, I don't know where I want to go. I feel a bit lost now. Like I feel like none of this matters and I don't want to engage with society, but what do I do then? So that can also happen. And then it's about, again, finding a clear direction. So it's about, I call it calling clarity, right? Figuring out your zone of genius, what you're passionate about, and your zone of service. So like what you're good at, what you're passionate about, what ignites your heart and what brings you up and wakes you up excited in the morning, and how can you serve? Because usually I find that integration is related to service. It's never, right? It's never about just your own personal journey of transcendence or of actualization, right? It's always related to service in some kind or another. And then again, it's about making that real, you know, formulating certain experiments that bring you into action after the experience of like, hey, okay, I might figure it out that I want to do this. So now I go take a surfing camp, you know, I want to go surfing and now I take a surfing train. So again, taking action based on what you saw in regards to making the vision a reality and translating that vision into a structure that you can implement and that fits your daily life as well and your daily responsibilities. And then the third aspect is nervous system capacity. So sometimes we come out of psychedelic experiences and we're so open, we're so sensitive. And then people feel that there's all these influences and everybody wants something and that's draining us of energy, right? Because we're so open. And then it's about setting boundaries in place, seeing like what one or two things drain your energy the most in your daily life now that you're so open. Maybe it's the phone, maybe it's a certain relationship. And then how can you set boundaries in place in order to protect your energy so you can actually follow through on what you said you're going to do, or what the psychedelics showed you. So this is really about building up this capacity and also feeling safe, right? A lot of people experienced a lot of emerging material that comes up in the experience, and then it's like the system is in fight or flight at times, it's in shock, and then it's about like, how can I implement a space of safety for my body to settle down again, for my body to relax and to slow down and to not be so tense and contracted all the time in my engagement with the world. So taking care of the body is a key aspect, and that happens through regulation rituals, through carving out this sacred time that where you just do what's best for you, what nourishes you, what resets you, and exploring certain practices that can support that in between your psychedelic journey. So you don't have to go back to the high again and again, but you have a whole toolkit of practices and tools that can support you in that process of grounding and of stabilizing after the experience. And I guess it touches on more levels, right? There's, again, deeper relational issues that come up with people that are going to be worked through. And there's deeper processes of spiritual integration, which is a whole domain in and of itself, which can be worked through. But this framework with these three pillars, I find, make it very tangible and practical in regards to what we can work on and how we can actually integrate our psychedelic experiences.
You make it sound so simple. I truly, like, there's so many juicy nuggets in everything that you just said that make it so simple, I guess, is the best way to put it, because when there's simplicity, right, there's actual activation.